Welcome to Detroit. Not the biggest of the international auto shows, but it is the hometown show for the American Big Three automakers. And that makes it an event worth seeing, as a good deal of our automotive future is unveiled here for the first time. Motown is more often described as gritty than glitzy, but not inside the convention center during Auto Show Week, when it's rock music and concept cars. Every significant brand is here dressed to impress, but it was the new Ford display that was the stunner this time, so big we thought it was part of the building. But it gathered all Ford's brands together and showed off the platform sharing in new production cars like the Lincoln LS. Or would you rather skin it as the new Jaguar S-Type? Or maybe as the retro-styled T-Bird that Ford plans to produce for an old look in modern parts.
The Thunderbird, for example, under the skin uses the same mechanical bits as the Lincoln LS and the Jaguar S-Type. And that's what allows a car like this to be produced at a profit.
Speaking of retro styling, how about the GTO concept study, just checking crowd reaction without a drivetrain yet? Or the Nissan Z car that puts you in mind of the 240, with Nissan making serious noises about producing it. And Chevy showing the mean-looking concept wagon, the Nomad, while pulling the wraps off the new Impala that is about to be produced. And Dodge reaching back to the past with the Charger concept we showed you earlier, and the diesel Power Wagon recalling M-Series vehicles from World War II. No question, the past is back.
Well, we're seeing an awful lot of retro at this show, and I think we're seeing it because people want to do something different. And it's a whole lot less risky to do something different if you pick a design that was successful in the past.
How about way in the past for the Chrysler PT Cruiser that reaches back to the 1940s for its styling? With the stunning announcement from Chrysler styling chief Tom Gale, this is another concept going into production.
We've been kind of hinting at this for a long time, so anybody that watches us would know, because a couple of years ago we had that 5-door Pronto, and then in Geneva last year we had the Pronto Cruiser, and that was setting up the name and kind of testing a little bit and knowing full well that we had this coming.
The PT Cruiser is a front driver with a versatile interior that suggests minivan, but it looks like a car, but the EPA has classed it as a truck.
You know, these cars don't want to be pigeonholed. They're like a lot of modern, artists in the music world. You know, it isn't really a car, it isn't really a truck. So far, it's not four-wheel drive, although they're indicating that maybe it'll be four-wheel drive down the road. So there's a sort of a sport ute crossover there. A lot of space inside. So big as an LHS on the inside, smaller than a Neon on the outside.
Then there is the truck news, the Dakota, coming as a 4-door quad cab. And the F-150 also getting 4 doors as a crew cab by using the front of the Expedition with a bed behind. Or perhaps you'd rather have that as the Lincoln Blackwood that's Navigator back to the weather-sealed pickup bed. And Nissan is experimenting with the same idea, 4 doors in their SUT concept, but adding a tailgate ahead of the pickup bed. They're all experiments looking for more market.
Can't sell more of the same. You got to take it off in a different direction, and that's what we're seeing. And boy, I don't know how to classify these things, whether they're pickups or sport utilities or hybrids or just things, but items like the Blackwood are incredibly different from anything in the marketplace.
No question, this is a sport ute concept, the Santa Fe from Hyundai. But what is this? The SSU from Mitsubishi, maybe a South African armored car. This is a pickup, Toyota's second try at a full-size hauler, the Tundra. And Nissan has a new production sport ute based on the Frontier truck, the Xterra, that will be cheaper than the Pathfinder. But the BMW X5 is a sport utility based on a car, and it won't be cheaper than a Pathfinder. And Subaru, in their own forest, was showing the 2000 Legacy Outbacks, the sport utility car and wagon. In little cars, Ford was showing off the Focus that will replace the Escort worldwide. And Honda has a 2-seat hybrid, electric and gas power Mini that will get 70 miles to the gallon. But we're a lot more interested in the S2000 sports car coming shortly with its 240 horses. Finally, 2 for the well-to-do, the Evoque, the angular 2-seater that previews the styling of all Cadillacs to come, and is also pretty close to a 2-seat sports car Cadillac intends to build. And the Mercedes SLR you saw driving in, with gull-wing doors and suede upholstery inside. But word is Mercedes intends to build it to sell for $250,000 to people considering a Lamborghini or Ferrari. It's amazing what you can learn about the future in Detroit.